Hello, I'm the Eternal Newbie. The extra L is for loathsome, as in evil, as in my Eberron group is apparently evil and has been for a long time. This might be an exaggeration. I mean, sure, we did some evil things. Most of them aimed at a guy who, while not the nicest, had some noble goals. But we had a good excuse. We're stupid. That's a defense, right? The stupid defense? Before story time, let's get down to brass tacks. If you like or don't like this video, let me know with likes or dislikes, or even better, comments. Or best of all, how about subscribing? I read a totally not real study that says people that subscribe to this channel are 62% more likely to have their dreams come true. It's science, people! I've got some other things going on, like a Discord and a video game channel. Info's in the video description. Okay, on to the good stuff. This story takes place in Eberron. I've talked about this group before. We've boarded airships. That later crashed. Crashed parties. That later blew up. And stolen some stuff from a bank and an armored carriage. Both of which involved things going boom. You know, when I say this stuff back to back, I can kinda see the evil now. Why didn't I see it before, you ask? Well, sir or madam, I would refer you back to the opening of this video. I guess I just ain't too bright. In my defense, it is Dungeons & Dragons, and a campaign without explosions is like a cat without fur. This whole time, I thought the guy we mostly targeted was an evil jerk. Turns out I was only half right. He is a jerk, but maybe not so evil. His motives are actually pretty pure. You know what? I'll just tell you the story and you decide. Am I good? Evil? Or stupid good? And I'm not talking 90s stupid good either. I mean stupid and good. This group started playing AL Eberron modules a while ago and midway through decided we didn't like them that much. I've talked about this in my last Eberron video. I'll throw the link in the video description. So we've been kind of following them and kind of doing our own thing. For example, we visited the Mournlands. They were nothing like I thought. Surprisingly, we didn't blow anything up. Though I'm thinking Johnson the Barbarian kinda wishes we had. The DM started laying some groundwork for this crisis of conscience months ago, and he did a really nice job. It was Grandpa. I've talked about him before. This time, I have to take my hats off to him. I'm the type of guy who prides himself in knowing the ending before we get to the middle. And about 90 to 95% of the time, I'm right. This time, I didn't see it coming. So, bravo, Gramps. We were pulling the final job of the modules, breaking into a Cannith lab and destroying whatever crazy evil machine he had going in there. We had a device to disable it, but we didn't know what it was. The party consisted of me playing Flood, the dashing cleric of the Traveler, Johnson, the bee-loving barbarian, Phala, the rogue, Merla, the cooking bard, Athtar, the changeling that doesn't know he's a changeling, and Vlad, the warforged. I said, Vlad, the warforged. Okay, before I show you Vlad, I gotta warn you. I think since I started, my drawings have gotten better. I mean, I'm not good, but it is improving. Look at Merla now versus Merla when I started. I really thought I was getting better. Then I drew Vlad. He's, well, I won't say this picture has haunted my dreams since I drew it, but I won't say it hasn't either. With apologies, I present Vlad, the Warforged Paladin. Don't say I didn't warn you. We fought our way through the secret lab pretty easily and after some shenanigans found the Machina. But not before we got some gifts from the Traveler. You see, there was a shrine to the Traveler in the lab. A few of us made donations and got a gift that could be either good or bad. Our Warforged Paladin got his dex boosted to 25 for the next few hours. The Changeling got changed into a Changeling. Oh, that wacky Traveler. The Barbarian got haste for 3 hours. And me, the loyal follower of the Traveler who has been spreading his word wherever we go, I had changed into a gnome. Which annoyed me. It made me less effective as a healer and a cleric on this, our most important mission. I decided to use it to my advantage though. When I ran headlong into a patrol searching for us, well, they were searching for a shifter, not a gnome, so I shouted for help. The invaders were right behind me. The guards weren't buying it though, doubling my annoyance. Here's some free advice from your old Uncle Newbie to all you DMs out there. The detect thought spell isn't your get out of jail free card when things don't go the way you want. I've now had 3 DMs try to pull that garbage, and it drives me crazy. So the guards know who I am, but guess what? A bit later I go talk to someone else I talked to before when I was a shifter, and they don't recognize me. Must have used all their detect thought spell slots. I'm being petulant, but that part at least made sense. We didn't end up crushing those guards easily enough, and after stumbling around and maybe destroying some things that we'll probably regret later, we found the secret lair with the secret machine. Down in the secret lair, who should be there but Merrick DeCanneth himself. He's been set up as the big bad in the campaign, and about 70% of our missions and 95% of my Eberron videos have to do with him. He's the jerk we keep stealing stuff from. And more importantly, he failed me out of the university, so this time, it's personal. Just as I was about to unleash my righteous gnome's fury upon him, he tries to talk. The machine room we're in is actually a giant creation forge, which is how warforged are made. After the last war, they were all disassembled, basically making the warforged an endangered species. Merrick tells us he made this creation forge to make sure that doesn't happen. He wants to save the warforged, not let them go extinct. He must be lying, right? Well, we zoned a truth, Tim, and he's not lying. He really has the best interests of the warforged at heart. Keep in mind, this is not how the module is written. This is the accumulation of months of Grandpa's planning, showing us how good and evil isn't always so black and white in Eberron. We could finish the mission. It's just him and this really cool 5-headed mechanical dragon. Merrick is still a jerkface. He is self-centered and full of himself. But in this case, I am shocked to find out his motives are actually pure. He really does care about saving the Warforged. So we have a choice. Help him save the Warforged, or blow the whole place up. Merla is surprisingly the first to agree with him, and despite my intense dislike for him, I see his point. Johnson and I soon join. Athtar comes over pretty quickly too. The holdouts are Phala and Vlad himself. Phala is a wild card, a character that no one, but maybe another personality of the Changeling, trusts. Vlad is surprising to me. Out of all the characters, he's been the most connected to Merrick's. He simply doesn't believe him, though with my gnomish insight, I do. The zone of truth pushes Vlad over. Now Phala has a problem. Phala is actually spying on us for a crime family, though in character none of us know that. She is under orders to make sure we destroy this machine. There is no way to get that done now, or so it seems. She gets the right idea of attacking the dragon, figuring it would draw us into battle. It was a good idea. The problem being, like I said, none of us really trust Phala, especially me, who keeps getting visions of her dagger sticking out of my chest. So we just let the dragon down her. As a mid-level cleric, I am confident that even if it kills her, I can bring her back. She is brought back right after I removed said dagger from her possession, and apparently we're on Team Merrick's now. Hopefully they have some really cool shirts and a dental plan. Of course, with Merrick's not being the bad guy this whole time, we have to face an uncomfortable truth. Time to grow out the goatees, we were the bad guys. I really got to give it to Gramps on this one. That was some mighty fine long-term planning, old-timer. Have you ever had an experience like that in tabletop gaming where your world just got flipped turned upside down? Take a minute and let me know in the comments below. I really thought that was great. And since you're still here, how about turning on that little notification button so you don't miss a video? Thanks for watching, and as always, play your character. Don't let your character play you.